How would you guys like to start a successful faceless YouTube channel? And yes, you heard that right, a faceless YouTube channel. And I'm talking about not even having to show your face at all. So you would not have to get up and get ready and sit in front of a camera like I'm doing right now. You wouldn't have to do any of that. So today we're going to talk about how to start a faceless YouTube channel for beginners. And we're going to talk through this step-by-step, start to finish. So let's just jump right into the first step, which is going to be finding a video idea. So first you're going to need to, of course, create your YouTube channel. And within this channel, you're going to need to make a big decision. You're going to need to think to yourself, what am I interested in? And what type of content would I be interested in making? Now, this could be something that you have prior knowledge to, or this could be something you just simply want to learn more about. But what you're going to need to do here is to pick a niche. And the niche is basically just going to be what your content revolves around. For example, some niches could be health, wealth, finance, relationships, happiness, and of course a bunch more. But after we decide what our niche is going to be, we need to of course find some video ideas. So I would recommend before you record any videos or make any content, you're going to gather 33 video ideas. And you're going to get around half of these ideas from keyword research and the other half from already popular videos on YouTube. And you might be thinking, I have no idea how to do that. Well, don't worry, because I've got you covered there. First, let's talk about how to get some video ideas from keyword research. You're going to need to pull up a tool called vidIQ. And then within vidIQ, you're going to need to search your niche. And again, this can be maybe fitness or beauty or traveling. But you're just going to need to search the niche that your channel is about in vidIQ. And then you're going to sort by the overall score. And we do this because we want to see what keywords are popular. And we want to see what is actually being searched on YouTube so we can add those keywords to our videos. So you want to make sure to use the keywords that only have over a 10K search volume. And this is if you're just relying on ad revenue, as there are other ways that you can monetize your channel as well. But now let's talk about how to get our other video ideas from different popular videos on YouTube. So what you're simply going to need to do here is pull up YouTube, and then just like vidIQ, you're going to search your niche within YouTube, and then you can sort by the most popular or most relevant, or just simply see what comes up and see what videos are getting a lot of views. So maybe videos over 100,000 views at the moment. Those would be some good video ideas to roll with. So you're going to take note of these and write all of those down. And now you've got some video ideas. So first step done. Next, we're going to need to compose our script. So we're going to need somewhere to write these scripts. Now I suggest maybe just opening up a Google Doc or a Word document. And what you're going to do within this Word document is of course write your script. But first I would suggest to maybe just start with an outline. So then you kind of have some structure to the script right off the bat. And starting with an outline could be more helpful if you already know a little bit about this niche. However, don't worry if you still need to do your research. That is totally fine. So what you're going to want to do now is to pull up YouTube again, our best friend, and you're going to search your video idea on YouTube. And just open up videos that have this same topic as the script that you are writing, but they are also videos that are doing really well. And then you're going to want to make sure to add important things from these videos into your script. Another little tip would be to scroll down to the comment section and see what people have questions about and see what people like about this video. And then make sure to answer these questions within your video. And then maybe think about your own life and your own experiences and how these experiences of yours can relate to the video that you're making, and maybe add some personal tidbits here and there. Or if you're making a tutorial video like this one is, make sure to maybe write down different numbers for different steps that you're going to be going through. Make it a chronological process. And then here and there you could maybe add some calls to action. And what I mean here is to throw in just a little, hey, subscribe, or check out this link that I'm promoting, or check out this course that I'm selling, or this course that I'm promoting. Make sure to give those a shout out if you'd like to. But a little tip with asking people to subscribe, I wouldn't do that all of the time, as sometimes it can get a little annoying for viewers if you're watching and you're like, just get into the content, and the creator's like, subscribe to me, guys, subscribe, please subscribe. Chances are people know how to subscribe, and if they wanted to, they would. So you don't necessarily always have to ask this, but here and there it wouldn't be a bad idea to throw in a, hey, don't forget to subscribe. At the end of the script, you can add an outro. And then in your outro, you can maybe point to a relevant video or a video that's gonna play next. So you could be like, hey, make sure to check out this video right here and put a video there. Let's get into some pro tips for your scripts to be even better. The first one would be to skip long intros. And trust me, a lot of viewers will click off a video if the intro is too long. You don't want to lose your viewers' attention right off the bat. And this happens a lot with me when I'm watching YouTube. So let's just avoid those long intros. You could even use no intro or do a hook intro. For example, if you're making a video about traveling to different destinations, you could say something like, how would you like to go to the ocean with the bluest water? Right off the bat, as a viewer, you would be like, I want to see the bluest water. Another tip that I also do when I'm writing my scripts, I use the voice to text option within Google Docs. And this can just help speed up the script writing process. On your Google Docs, you simply just click on Tools and then Voice Typing. Maybe let's say you already know a lot about the video that you're going to be making or the topic of the video. You can start out by adding bullet points of what you may already know and then add on to those bullet points later after doing some research. A good question would be, how long should we necessarily make our scripts? How short is too short of a video? Because again, it can be kind of tricky when we're putting words into video format, because how can we tell how many words is how many minutes? I would just suggest to take as much time as you need to give the value that you want to give. You want to make sure that you're answering the topic of the video as well as possible. Now, I'm not saying to sit down in front of the camera for 5 hours, because in reality, you could explain some of your videos within 5 minutes, but then other videos might take closer to an hour, and that is totally okay. But what type of length of video is considered a perfect length? Well, the truth is there are videos that go viral at every length. And the reason why these videos go viral isn't necessarily the length of the video in minutes, rather than the video is entertaining and it's giving value to the viewers. But I would like to note that YouTube can pay attention to the length of the video sometimes, and this is when they are factoring in the audience retention. So let's make sure to focus on what we can control. And we can take control over our channel by providing value and by simply not boring our viewers. Because we want people to be watching our videos start to finish and not get bored and not click off. When I'm writing my scripts, I shoot for these scripts to be around 2,000 words, because I have learned that if I write 2,000 words, my videos are typically over 10 minutes. And if you have a video that's around 10 minutes long, then that means you can put multiple ad breaks. But why would we want to put multiple ad breaks? Why would we want our viewers viewing ads? Well, this is how you actually make money on YouTube. Once you get monetized, YouTube will put ads within your videos, and once your viewers view these, then that's where the money comes in. But like I said, there are other ways to monetize your channel rather than getting monetized on YouTube. You could also head on over to webcounter.net, and then you can simply paste your script into here, and it'll tell you how long your video will be in terms of speaking. That way you can see a good estimate of how many minutes your video is going to be. But overall, just make sure to take the amount of time that you need to give the value that you want to give. Now, since we are creating a faceless channel where we do not have to show our faces at all, we're gonna need to record a voiceover because we're not going to be sitting in front of a camera like this. However, a lot of the tips that I'm going through right now, you could also apply them to a personal channel as well. If we don't exactly have the budget to go out and just purchase a microphone, guess what? Your phone microphone works perfectly fine. And then if you're a little confused on how to actually get this audio file and put it onto your computer to edit, you can simply just save this audio file to the files on your phone and then email it to yourself. That way you can have it on different platforms rather than just your phone, or you could even just hook up your phone with a USB cord to your computer. And then there's a software called Audacity, and you can use this to cut out any mistakes. So you would end up with just your polished and finished audio file voiceover. Now let's talk about if you do want to purchase a microphone. Now this wouldn't be a bad investment at all. To start out a little cheaper, you could get a Faceless microphone, and this one is just around $30 on Amazon. The K669B is a good one to start out with. If we want to take a step up and get a better microphone, you could get the Blue Yeti Nano, and this one costs around $80 to $100. But again, there's no need to worry if you don't have the budget for that yet. Your phone works just fine. But if you choose to purchase one of these microphones, you can record from the microphone directly to the Audacity software on your computer, and then you can export this audio file as a WAV file. Now the next step is going to be editing our video. But you might be wondering, how do we do this if we are not showing our faces? How do we record a video? For one example, you could create a screen recording channel where you are maybe screen recording your computer or your phone and going through different tutorials. And you could simply just use the OBS software, and that is completely free, and this allows you to screen record your computer, but at the same time you could also record your voiceover as well. So that kind of kills two birds with one stone. Or you could use fair use content. For example, this is stuff that top 10 channels use. You could also create a channel that uses stock photos and videos and compile those all together, and then add your voiceover on top of that. An example of a channel that does this would be a channel called Brainy Dose. Some places that you can get some free stock footage, because I always like to throw in the free options, would be Pexels and Pixabay. Did you guys know that you can actually animate a video and not be an animation expert? Anyways, for example, you could create different whiteboard animations. So you don't even have to go out and buy a whiteboard and draw on it. You can animate this. An example of a channel that does this is a channel called Philosophies for Life. If you want to just see how this looks visually, check them out. And some softwares that can create these videos for you are Doodly and VideoScribe, or you can straight up make animation videos and animate little characters to say different things. And this can be good if you're making a video that is telling a story. And you can do this by using a software called Animaker, and you can make cute little animation characters and they can talk to each other. Now let's talk about some of the best video editing softwares to use. Because let's say we've compiled our animation video, or we have our stock footage ready, or we have our screen recording video ready. Well, we're going to need to edit that all together. First, we're going to start with the free options. And some of these include Shotcut, OpenShot, which is one of my favorite free video editing softwares that I see is constantly on the rise. There's also HitFilm Express, or maybe you're using a MacBook to edit these videos, or your iPhone, you could use iMovie. A really good paid video editing software would be PowerDirector. They basically have everything that you would need. Now let's talk about how to exactly edit this video of yours. Well, we have our video, whatever format it may be in. We're going to drag and drop that into the video editing software of your choice, and then you're going to want to make sure to cut out different audio mistakes if you didn't do that already when recording the voiceover in Audacity. And then you're going to add little captions and titles and stickers here and there to keep the video intriguing. And then let's say maybe you want to add some music in your video. And if you are choosing to do this, you can head on over to YouTube's Creator Studio, and they have a bunch of copyright-free music that you can use. So again, if you're choosing to put music in your videos, make sure to get it from the YouTube Creator Studio. It is completely free and copyright free as well. Another note is to make sure that the music isn't over blaring your voice. You want to make sure that the music is set super low and quiet and just chill in the background. And I've actually seen a lot of videos that do this, and a lot of people comment being like, hey, we can't hear you. Anyways, once you have this video all edited, you've added final touches, you've trimmed down audio files and compiled different stock footage videos, or maybe you animated a video, you're going to want to make sure to export this video and save it to whatever device is going to be uploading this video to YouTube. You're going to want to make sure to export this video in 1080p as a minimum, and this is going to be the quality in which the video is in. And MP4 is a good format to export the video in. Now we have a video all ready and made to be uploaded to YouTube. Also, make sure to stay tuned to the end of this video because I do have a really good video that will help you guys even further how to create a faceless YouTube channel. You could say I'm just touching the surface level stuff here, but the next step is we're gonna need to make a thumbnail for this video before we can exactly upload it to YouTube. Some free softwares that you could create these thumbnails on would include Snappa or Canva. Canva is one that I've been pretty familiar with, and they even have a bunch of different preset templates that you can utilize. Another free option would be PaintNet. Let's talk about some tips within making thumbnails. If you have any primary elements within your thumbnail, such as having text in the thumbnail or having somebody's face like make sure to keep these primary elements to a minimum. Meaning if you have somebody's face over here and you have text, those would be only 2 primary elements and that's enough. So make sure to keep these to a minimum. You're also going to want to make sure to make everything big, as people are going to be viewing your videos on their phone. So on your phone screen, you can imagine these thumbnails are teeny tiny. It makes sure that people on different content formats can also see your thumbnails. Using high contrast and bright colors will intrigue your viewers and make them want to click on your videos. And with thumbnails, again, you could search your niche up on YouTube and see what thumbnails are doing well. So with this being said, you're gonna want to model what is working. And when I say model, I do not mean copying whatsoever. Think of it as taking inspiration. Another tip would to be keeping the text to a minimum within your thumbnails, because imagine seeing a thumbnail on YouTube where it's just text from corner to corner. I don't think a lot of people have come to YouTube to read a whole lot as they want to visually watch videos. But once we have this video, it is time to upload it and optimize it. So when we're uploading this video, we need to, of course, come up with a title for the video. Now let's not stress too much about this because we can simply just model what is already working as well with this. But you do not want to by any means take somebody's word for word title, as that is just straight up copying. When you're uploading a video, there is also an option to add tags, and you can utilize vidIQ to come up with different tags and different keywords that are trending for your video. And then with these keywords that you are using for your tags that you are finding in vidIQ, you can also put them in the description of your videos, but make sure you're doing it in a natural way. For example, if you have a finance channel, you do not want to just have a description that just says money, YouTube, finance. That wouldn't make sense at all. Make sure to put these words into sentences that flow together. And then you have a choice to upload this thumbnail that you have created. You can also create different playlists within your channel, and then you can choose to add this video within a certain playlist that you may have. There's also something that asks if this video is made for kids, if it should go on the kids YouTube platform, or if it should just go on normal YouTube. And then there is also a category for what your video fits under, and YouTube will ask what category your video qualifies as. For example, a beauty video or a finance video or a travel video. And then you can choose the language in which this video is primarily made for. Another little tip here is you can actually schedule your videos to post. For example, if you've made these 33 videos, you can schedule them to post for the next few weeks just automatically. The best time to exactly upload your videos really doesn't matter when you begin to post videos, but however, once your channel starts growing, make sure to check out the analytics of your channel. And there will be a graph that shows the peak time in which people are viewing your videos. And then make sure to start uploading your videos around 1 or 2 hours before this peak time. Now, the only reason that I am able to retain a lot of this information is because my brother Matt has a YouTube channel. His channel is called Make Money Matt, and he has a ton of different videos and informational videos on just how to really get going with a YouTube channel, how to make money online. So with that being said, make sure to click on this video. And hey, what do you know? This is a tip that we went through earlier today. Make sure to click on this video and it'll talk about more in depth how to get started with a faceless YouTube channel, exactly what niches are performing well on YouTube and what type of content to create within those specific niches. He'll talk about how to monetize your channel and make as much money as potentially possible. So make sure to check it out and we'll see you guys there. Thank you.